Okay, 100-meter final for women. I need a one-word answer from you. Shelley or Elaine?
I
Or
cannot
Sharika?
answer that. I can't answer that in one word because I really don't know. Shelley has run 10:67, 10:67, 10:70. Elaine Thompson-Herah has gone as fast as 10:79 this year, and her program is different from Shelley's program. We know that Sharika probably would have run 10:6 had it not been for the extended delay at the national championships. So it comes down to who is going to bring their A game.
Greetings, sports fans. Welcome back to Eddy Vision, the channel where we look at sports differently. Now, today we'll be taking an early look at the 2022 Athletics World Championship. I have a very special guest with me today, Mr. Popular Leighton Levy, journalist. I believe he's still at Sportsmax. Mr. Levy, how are you doing?
Not too bad, no, Eddie. I'm good. I'm good. I've had a pretty hectic day, but any opportunity to help to have our fans understand what happens in track and field is an opportunity to teach, and so this is also another good opportunity, on your platform.
Okay, and thanks a lot for joining once again.
Mm-hmm.
July 15 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, big period for the Jamaicans.
Uh,
So we released a 64-member team that will be representing us. What are your thoughts on the team and the team's breakdown?
I think it's a strong team. I think it's a very competitive team. I think it's a team filled with talent. But however, I think, notwithstanding the talent, we need to understand that for as strong as our team is, there are other athletes from other countries who are stronger. And for that reason, I think we should temper our expectations in terms of what to expect from the team, because one of the things that I find with a lot of Jamaican fans is that we think that our athletes are the best regardless, and that's not always the case. And I think so. Some context needs to be put to the fact that it's a strong team. I mean, outside the teams that went to, for example, the 2009 World Championships in Berlin and the Olympics team in 2008, I think this is a strong team in the sense that we have depth and quality on both sides. However, some of it might not be ready to win medals yet. I know a lot of people tend to think that medals are the only things that count. But when you get to a final of the global championships, you're among the eight
That's
best
big in the world.
you're eight best athletes in the world. I don't think it's anything to scoff at. I don't think it's anything to look down on. It's not when you're top 8 in the world, it means you're among the very best of the very best. So but yeah, man. So it's a good team, and I think it's a team that will represent Jamaica well.
We have a person, the guy that won the 200-meter. He dropped
Hudson?
out.
No, he didn't drop out.
Dropped out.
What it is that through his father, he applied for Jamaican citizenship. Now, what it is, for those who don't understand,
He's not ready in time.
No, it takes 3 years for you to change allegiance from one country to the next. His 3-year period ends on July 28th, which is 4 days after the World Championships end. So he won't be able to participate in the championships as a Jamaican, anyway.
On an individual standpoint, who should we look out for? Any surprises?
Not really. I think the usual suspects are the people who we're going to expect good performances from. I think in the women's 100 meters, which is one of the big events, and thankfully, finally, I think the women are getting their pride of place. I think Fraser-Pryce, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and Sharika Jackson will most likely see a repeat of what happened in Tokyo last year, where the Jamaican women finished 1, 2, 3. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4 because I think Kemba Nelson is in the kind of form that would probably be better than what the rest of the world has to offer, including the Americans. But I will go for 1, 2, 3 because I think those, barring anything unforeseen in terms of injury or anything, I think those 3 ladies will be on the podium in the 100 meters after the 100-meter finals in Oregon. That comes up on July 16th, which is the day after the championship start on the 15th. In the 200, I think there's a possibility that we could end up with 2 of the 3 medals up for grabs. I think Abby Steiner of the United States is a legitimate threat to any Jamaican athlete. She's been running consistently well all year. 21:80 at the NCAA championships, fastest time in the NCAA this year. 21:77 at the US championships into a minus 0.3 win makes her a strong contender for not only a medal but for a gold medal as well. But I think Shericka Jackson and I believe Eddy and Thompson-Herah will be on the medal podium, barring any surprises from any other country, which right now I don't see. The biggest threats, Gabby Thomas was out injured, and also Christine Mboma from Namibia, who picked up an injury in Nairobi, Kenya on May 7th, racing against Chile and Fraser-Pryce. She's resumed training, but she won't be in shape in time to run at the World Championships. So that's the 1-2 for the women 100 and 200. In the 400 for women, I think Candice McLeod has a strong shot of ending up on the medal podium. We haven't seen many women run under 50 seconds this year. And I think, given where we see her progress this season, I think Candice McLeod has a very strong shot at ending up on the podium. Also, actually, Stephanie McPherson, because I think Stephanie had an injury earlier in the season that put her a little bit behind in terms of our preparation. But I do think that both of them could have a good shot at ending up on the podium. Cherokee Young, my concern for her, even though she's the fastest Jamaican in the world this year at 49.87, but I think the length of the NCAA track and field season might take its toll on her legs for the championship. So, I think we have a shot of realistically 1 or 2 medals for the 400-meter women. 4x1 women, I think, will definitely win the gold medal unless them drop the button or mess up the button changes. I think on paper, Kemba Nelson 10.88, Shericka Jackson 10.77, even though it would have been fast had it not been for that delay at the championships last weekend. Not last weekend, the weekend before that. Eddy and Thompson-Herah and Shirley and Fraser-Pryce. Once again, the button changes around, the gold medal should be Jamaicans.
Should be
the 4x4 women, I think we're looking at a possible silver medal in that event as well. That's on the women's side. On the men's side, I think Oblique Seville and Johan Blake have a very good shot at ending up on the podium. I think, however, 1 will end up on the podium, not 2. I think that, when you look at Fred Curley from the United States, when you look at a couple of the Africans and Marvin Gracie and Trayvon Bramwell, I think Oblique Seville or Johan Blake would have to run faster than they've run so far this season, which is 9.85 and 9.86 respectively, to get on the podium. For the 200, for the 200, no shot of a medal there. The 400 similarly. However, the 4x4 men, I think, can probably sneak a bronze medal into the on the medal table. The 4x4 men I mentioned before, cool. The sprint hurdles, I think Hans Parchment will probably be the only Jamaican on the podium as Olympic champion. I think he's supremely confident, and I think he'll run his best time in Oregon, and I think he'll definitely end up with a medal. Well, that's gold. It's up in the air because I think there's Devon Allen, who's run 2:84, it's third fastest time in history. The one little man from France named Zaya, who won the World Under 20 Championships this year. He's really, really good. And of course, Galloway from the United States, who also was a silver medalist in Tokyo last year. I think he's trying to come back. He will obviously be coming back and trying to redeem himself to probably win the gold medal there. So I think Hansel is in the mix for a medal though, and I think notwithstanding what we saw from Rashid Broadbell at 13:20 at the national championships and Orlando Bennett, I think this year is a year too early for both of them. So maybe next year at the World Championships in Budapest, they'll most likely be medal contenders. But I think Hans Parchment is probably the most realistic medal contender for the 100 hurdles. For the 4x1 men, I think Jamaica has a legitimate shot at a silver medal. I think the Americans are too fast, but I don't think any other country in the world should be able to match us. We'll have to Blake, Johan Blake, Oblique Seville, and either, I don't know, pick anybody else, Kemar Billy Cole or Jelani Walker. I think
Yeah.
we should end up with a medal in the 4x1 men. And that's about it. I don't think Tajir Gale's knee is going to be healthy enough for him in time to defend his world title, so that triple jump gold medal that he won in 2019 will be well, he won't. I don't think he will defend the title, but I don't think he's healthy enough. And I can't think of any other medal contenders for our men. So do the math. I think that's what, 10 medals, I think.
Yeah, I was going to answer that further down.
Yeah.
Hold on to that answer, that count. Let us touch on Sha'Carri Richardson. Do you think that the track world will be missing her at this event?
In terms of her popularity, yes. In terms of obviously, look, if Sha'Carri Richardson runs to her best potential, she's a medal contender in any.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
The thing is that she's not been focused since she left college in 2019 to go pro. She's had many distractions. We all know about the drama with Janique Brown earlier this year. Obviously what has come to bear is that I don't think her training was on point, primarily because of those distractions. But I would love to see her in Budapest next year, and then of course in the Olympics in Paris in 2024, because I think when you run 1075 coming out of college and you run 1072 in April last year, and 1085 this year, look, the girl has talent, but she needs to get her life together and get her ducks in a row.
Yeah, so true. We all know that Oregon track is a very fast track. Should we look forward to seeing that 100-meter women record go away?
No.
Finally?
I don't think so. And the Oregon track is not even necessarily faster than Kingston, or Berlin for that matter. I mean, there's a theory that Oregon track is fast, and there is some merit to that, but I don't think it's necessarily faster than the National Stadium or Berlin for that matter. I think the times we see will depend how well the athletes execute their respective races and the wind factor, because
the conditions,
the environmental conditions could be a factor, because as you know, it rains very often in Eugene, Oregon, and sometimes the temperatures fluctuate to make it uncomfortable for the athletes. So unless the environment is ideal and the athletes are prepared to execute as well as they can or as well as they should, I don't think we necessarily see faster times than we see by comparison to Jamaica or Berlin or any of the fast tracks in the world like Lausanne or whatever it is. I think it will come down to how well the athletes, the shape the athletes are in, and how well they execute.
Okay, 100-meter final for women. I need a one-word answer from you, Shelley or Elaine.
I can't answer that in one word because I really don't know. Shelley has run 1067, 1067, 1070. Elaine Thompson-Herah has gone as fast as 1079 this year, and her program is different from Shelley's program. We know that Cherika probably would have run 10.6 had it not been for the extended delay at the national championships. So it comes down to who's going to bring their A game, and it comes down to who's in the best shape in just over a week's time. I cannot predict. I actually thought about it significantly. If I had to go with a favorite based on performance to this point, I'd have to go with Shelley and Fraser-Pryce because of those two 10.7s and the 10.70 in the first round of national championships. But I wouldn't rule out Cherika Jackson winning or Elaine Thompson winning either, because Cherika clearly is ready to run faster than 10.7. We saw that at national championships, and Stephen Francis himself has said it had it not been for the delay.
She said it as well.
Yeah, should have run 10.6 low. And we know Elaine Thompson-Herah has run 10.54. She's the only one of the three who's run 10.5. So her body knows what it feels like to run 10.5. So this is probably the first time in a long time when I cannot actually I don't have a clear idea of who's a possible winner there, because there are a lot of unknowns as well. Huh? We don't know really how fast Shelley can run. We really don't know if Shelley is going to go a lot faster than 10.67. And will Elaine go back to 10:54 or 10:61? It's hard to say, but
True,
if
true.
you had to go with on form, you probably go with Shelly and Fraser-Pryce to win Sharika second, Elaine third, or you could go with Shelly and Fraser-Pryce to win Elaine second, Sharika third. I think what I do believe is that we're going to probably see something that we've never seen before in women's sprinting. If the conditions are right, we could see the winner run 10:5 and 10:6, two 10:6s for second and third,
Second and
or
third.
10:6 win, 10:6 come second, and 10:6 high come third. So it's too close to call as far as I'm concerned right now, honestly.
From a Jamaican standpoint, can we say that male sprinting is back?
It never went anywhere, you know. Listen, we have a tendency to believe that we are somehow, we are entitled to have fast men, huh? But let me give you a little bit of history. We won our first. Well, Herb McKinley was second at the Olympics in 1948, or fourth actually. 1952, there was a different story. Our next medal in the men's 100 meters came in 1968, at the Mexico Olympics when Billy Miller ran second in a race where Jim Hines set the world record, the first man to break 10 seconds. I think it was 9:95 run, or 9:99. I don't remember exactly the time right now. And then after that, we got the 76 Olympics where Donald Quarry came second in the 100 that he was favored to win and lost to Hazel Crawford from Trinidad and Tobago, and then won the 200. Fast forward from 1976, the next time our men won a medal was in 2008 in Beijing when Usain Bolt won. I mean, Raymond Stewart won a medal in the '97 World Championship, I think it was. But we're talking about the reality that we seem to think that we tend to forget that before Usain Bolt, there was a whole history of Jamaican track and field. Usain Bolt came and spoiled us. And in the Bolt era, there was a Safa Powell, there was Johan Blake, there was Steve Mullins, there was Michael Frater, there was Nesta Carter, there were so many talented sprinters. But that era is now over. So what it is now is Usain Bolt retired in 2017, this is 2022. So what we've had in the period is that Johan Blake was running, but he was in the best of shape because of the bad injury that he picked up in 2014. But our male sprinters never went anywhere. We just had to be patient and understand that it takes time for talent to come through. And of course, 21-year-old Oblique Seville, after winning our champs in 2019, has come through. Akeem Blake, who went to Berlin on the high, has come through. And of course, Johan Blake is back close to the Johan Blake that we expected. We were hoping to see over the last decade or so. So, yeah, but it's nice to see them back running fast again. But our male sprint never went anywhere. We just needed to be patient for new talent to emerge and for Johan Blake to get back to the athlete that we know he can be. Because when you tear a muscle completely off the bone, and it takes years for that muscle to graft back to the bone because you have to trim the top of the muscle, pin it back to the bone, and then wait for the muscle to graft back, and then heal, and then get stronger over a period of time. That takes years. And then once you got past the physical point of it, to get past the mental point of it, because when you have a bad injury, you tend no matter whatever it is that you're doing, you're competing. Your brain tends to say, "Hello, you could get hurt again." So you hold back.
Yeah,
You're not able
true.
to push to that full potential anymore, and that is where Johan Blake was until this year. But people forget that Blake ran 995 last year in a meeting, I think it was Atlanta, and he ran 993, I think, for the World Championships previous year, in the previous World Championship, but finished fourth or fifth, I think. But I don't remember exactly where he finished, but he finished out of the medals, and people were saying he should retire, not understanding that it takes time to overcome injuries physically, emotionally, and mentally. So Johan Blake now is back to a place where he's able to compete at a level close to his best. And I'm told that they expect him to go even faster and harder. And if he does that, he'll definitely be on the podium. Huh?
That's good. Some good news. Jamaicans making history. The first time we'll have two female high jumpers at the World Championship in
Yes, and that's
Diston and Williamson.
yeah,
Thoughts on
Williamson.
that?
I am very pleased. Lamar Diston has been an exceptional high jumper from she was in high school.
Mm.
When she used to jump for Heidel, she used to jump for Vera, I think it was as well. And she went to college. And one of the things that disappoints me is a lot of journalists in Jamaica will pay attention to the 100 and the 200 as if those are the only two events in track and field. But Lamar Diston was second in the NCAA championship last year. She lost once this year on the college circuit, once to Tara Gittins from Trinidad and Tobago. And Tara Gittins jumped 195, she jumped 193. But she won the NCAA indoor title. She won the NCAA, she won her conference title, and of course, she won the NCAA national title. She came to the national championships and so she didn't know what went wrong, but she lost that too. But you know, she was one of the two people who had the qualifying standard because she jumped 1 meter 97, which is a new national record, which she said twice this year. So I expect her to probably, that she's had a chance to recover and rest.
Mhm.
I think she'll jump well in Oregon. The thing is, can she get to 2 meters? Because I think she's going to have to get there to be certain of a medal. If she jumps 1 meter 97, she will be in the hunt for the medals as well. I think there's only one or two women who have jumped 2 meters or higher this year. So if she jumps at her best, she's a medal contender. Kimberly Williamson, big season for her. 1 meter 93, which said that she's actually on her way up in terms of where she was in previous years at Kansas State and of course at Edwin Allen. So if she can jump a PB in Oregon, who knows? She might end up on the podium too. But realistically, I think Diston has the better shot of ending up on the podium. Even if she doesn't medal, if she jumps her best, I think she'll be in the top 4 in the championships. Worst case, top 5.
Good, good stuff, good stuff. The final question, Mr. Levy, fill in the blank. Jamaica will leave Oregon with blank number of medals.
About 10 medals. I think 10 is a fair number. I predict at the Olympic last year, I predicted between 9 and 11 medals, and I think we came away with 11 medals. I think it was too, because we have to take into consideration several factors: injury, just athletes just not having a good day, other athletes stepping up to the plate from other countries. So I think, if we do the math, I think we can get 3 medals in the 100, as I mentioned before, possibly 2 in the 200 women, that's 5. 1 in the 100-meter hurdles, that's 6. 4x1, 7. 4x4, 8. There's another event that I'm missing out on.
You mentioned the hurdles?
Yeah, Brittany Anderson as the strongest medal contender there. For the men 100, I think 1 medal. For the 4x4, 1 medal. 4x1, 1 medal. 110-meter hurdles, 1 medal. Yeah, so I think, let's say between 10 and 12 medals. I think so. 10 medals, I think, is a fair estimate of where we'll end up, because not everything is going to go according to what we want.
Plan. That's true. All right, folks, there you have it. A quick look at the World Championship and Jamaica's prospect heading into this big event. And we're all looking forward to it. Jamaicans, we know we love our track and field. I want to thank sports analysts, our journalists, Mr. Leighton Levy, for joining us today.
Yeah, man, it's my pleasure being here. And of course, we just hope that our athletes do their best. And remember, they might not medal, but if they make the finals, they are among the very best in the world. We should celebrate them. We should celebrate the hard work that they put in to get to these points in their careers and support them regardless. Gold medals are not the only things that matter. Being among the best in the world, I think, has more value overall. Because when you come from a country the size of Jamaica, competing against countries of much larger countries, Germany, the United States, Great Britain, all of these countries who have more resources, better resources, and more people to choose from, that we do so well is something to celebrate, not looked down on, because our athletes give their best every single time they come out, step out on the track to represent the country, and we should reciprocate in terms of how we respect and honor their participation and their efforts to represent Jamaica.
All right, folks, drop a like and also drop a comment below. Let me know who is your winner for the 100 meter for male and female. Who will win the 4x100 relays? Drop all that in the comment section below. Let me know your medal tally. Are you agreeing with Mr. Lee with 10 to 12 medals? Are you looking for more? Leave all of that in the comment section below. All right? Thanks for watching. Always remember, like, share, and subscribe.